child is recording. Okay, guys, basically my video wasn't recording. Okay, guys, let me just try to make this video today. I want you guys to get this. Let me just record real time. Around a minute. So basically, I'm gonna put it into a transcriber. Okay, 2 minutes has passed. Let me set a clock. I haven't already. Okay, let me spend 45 minutes doing it. 50 minutes is fine. Let me just start my 15 minutes time. Okay, it's done. Okay, guys, skip to now. What's the time? 27 seconds I've started. Okay, now basically this video is very important. It's on quantum systems. I want to try to give you my hypothesis, but it should be strong hypothesis with me, not Nandi. You guys like me? I'm not doing okay. Basically, it's about nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, duality of fission and fusion. Okay, basically, it's more about light and matter. Basically, I'm trying to give you the overview of quantum physics from my view. No one else's, I don't care about anybody's views. So basically, my hypothesis on quantum systems is that quantum systems are naturally coherent. You can observe, they can interact seamlessly because they are bound to the interaction of fission and fusion. Basically fission and fusion only via something called polarity. Now, polarity, I have to define it properly to you guys. Now, polarity is the concept of polarity alignment, because things are random, but ontological. They have to act in themselves in our worldview, but we have to do something ourselves. We have to make ourselves happy, eat, sleep, poop, foundation. Then you just have to have good health. But I don't want to give you that analogy, ontological, because that means something the system can act so on itself or autonomous. But quantum physics is not autonomous. They don't only they cohere. So I'm using that to frame my this hypothesis basically. So polarity or non-uniformity or polarity is split into the actor model. The system's able to do something and evolve via directed symbiotic evolution, encoding stuff. So basically, I got a patent already on encoding systems as functor and frameworks for quantum physics. Encoding the realm of physics using dimensional game theory at github.com/OBINexus/patents. But for myself for the future, because I'm trying to stand this down for a very formal framework. Okay, so nuclear fission. What is nuclear fission? Now, nuclear fission is literally when you get two atoms and you fuse them, or fission. Oh, fusion. So fission is breaking them to put them two atoms, proton, electron. Maybe they're isotopes, maybe they're not. Maybe they are the same thing, maybe they're not. Maybe they're like two items, but two polar conjugate. That means they're the same thing, but opposite properties. Basically, they do the same thing, they behave the same way, but they're opposite models. Basically, a proton, quark, gluons, I don't even know what they are. I don't care what they are. For me, frankly, I do care what they are, but I care about more the interaction. Because I want to know why is this proton. Because that's what confuses me. Why is this proton behaving this way? And why do I call it a proton? If there's like one electron there and it's not similar to proton, I discard it. I don't care, guys. Very important, because that's what I'm seeing is if it's not a proton, like an atom that is a positive charge atom, has this kind of isotope, and this isotope means you basically got the same proton here, but it has a different isotope, different neutrons in it, and it's still a proton. Then it doesn't have an electron in it. That's what I'm saying. So basically, the isotopes are just the neutrons. Carbon has an isotope, but they're stable. So you can have a stable isotope and a non-stable isotope. That means you have something that can vibrate because they have more. They have so much weight, mass in them. They stop. Gravity is like that. They cohere. They start to cohere. So gravity just makes you glue everything together. But gravity is not a force in a traditional sense. Gravity is more of an isotope layer. Because you can have more things to it, and you'll never be. Basically, why do atoms have mass? These questions are hard because if a photon has a mass, you shoot it, boom, it goes like boom, boom, and then it goes through your head, like in the left, and comes out the other way, your head, and you start to get cancer, that's because it has mass, to go through your head. It is just like a phase through your head. So basically, the mass is like for coherence, you just to be there, be there. You just be there because if it doesn't have mass, then it doesn't exist. Then it can't really interact with the system. Because the mass layer, I believe, or I hypothesize to be true. Like mass gives everything coherence. But it's not naturally coherent and non-uniform coordinates mean nothing to the universe. Basically, is the universe trying to glue stuff without basically you can have something that's massless. Because something that's massless will never become stable. Because it's just useless. It's the universe just a useless waste of energy and time to just keep that thing there. Because just have a mass at the bare minimum. Now, basically, dragon. Basically, you got the Newton cradle, like the Newton cradle here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Basically, you got like a three, but energy transfers from one source to another. Basically, energy is very important in this because if a particle has an energy, that means it has mass, something above mass, to make energy. Force equals mass times acceleration. Negative force equals positive force, and net force equals zero. If an atom has zero force, then it is unstable because it's not stable. But if add force or something comes to the key here, that's a big. There's not up to the universe. Unstable. We don't want to basically isotopes are the key to everything here. Okay, isotopes and polarity. So basically you have models of mini models of stuff, but if the model is not in the right frame of mind, if you have like a proton with two let's see, look, if like a layer of light, just one beam of light, it has like some mass, I don't know, 0.25 grams, I'm thinking of like that, I don't know what I'm saying now, but 0.25 nanograms, milligrams, like a light nanograms, like micrograms, whatever you call the smallest one, if you take the measure of the atom, the proton, and then you have like a photon, the same thing, but the isotope is more, it has more energy to be exist, because you can basically you can have like a wave of light. What I say basically, the thing about light waves, yes, have to say it now. Light waves have photons. Photons. That's just light waves. Let me use that basically. I don't think now. So light waves, photon. Photon is just light. But the light according to Ford, light is energy. Light is as energy, but it's not as. Light is basically it is an as because light can be energy to illuminate or something and come into my skin and I'll go darker. If I want light, I stay in sunlight, or it can be waves. It can be waves. So waves at the same time. Why but light is the same thing. It's just do I need to have this property at this time? Do I need to behave this way at this time? But I don't need to think of basically. I'm thinking about literally. The quantum physics proposals, entanglement. That means basically, if not, basically all the quantum systems are entangled together because we're in the universe. But I can measure something here and get some information there. But the system has to polarize itself. Am I getting through a polar protocol? Have I polarized some X, Y, Z gate? Basically, am I doing this myself? Am I doing this in a group consensus? Am I doing Z? Okay. So light waves. So light has two ways. Light waves. One way is to get light energy, and light waves to get. But that's the bioinformation. So basically, it's biological sustainable to the system. Rush. Yes. So it's biology at its core. It's biology at its core. Basically, I'm saying that it's more stable as a symbiotic contract. But quantum systems are more stable as symbiotic systems. Because if something fails, the someone's got their back. Something fails, you can start, that's to be like basically the plasma system has to be coherent because everything's a plasma system, it's non-existent in reality, literally. There's nothing there in reality unless it has a mass. That's what I'm saying. The mass is very different. Because if the mass is not there, there's no point of you having that storage, to do that thing. It's like but the other form too, if the wave is not there, or if the system is not coherent, if it's something else that I don't know that we can't see. It's not there. Then we'll go doing. Do it yourself. Enzymes. Basically, this system must be do it yourself. Just be able to do it. Without even thinking. Basically, if I'm trying to read someone's mind, taking this, I don't want to be thinking what they're thinking to read their mind. I can measure the waveform. Just so I can. I'm peeping to your mind. That's what I'm saying. Basically, I'm saying that if I want to invent telepathy, which I want to actually, I don't wanna be thinking, what are you thinking? That will stress me out, because I will start to misalign with the person's thought. Well, no, what I'm doing it mentally, what I'm doing, I want to see this person's eyes, what the person get like a mind reading. I can literally try to mind read without brain chipping myself, which is a putting application to someone's mind if I'm in Zen mode, and I just think, oh, this guy has problems, it doesn't affect me, so I will just try to be him in his shoes, and I'll start to align with his consciousness, with his brain, how he thinks. Then they get a photo of him. I mostly say it works in the real world. I get a photo, I look at it, I say, oh, this one's beautiful. Now, what is he gonna do to you? Go to the shop, buy milk like me, and I get milk, and I come back. Then someone says, oh yes, yes, I can read my mind. Oh, you can read my mind? Yes, yes, yes. What do you do to them? They get the same image. Oh, you saw my picture here, and I give this image, and you wrote it down. This is what I did, guys, and they'll be accurate 100%. There's no misalignment in our thoughts, because the misalignment instincts is that we are not coherent. So basically, it's just that we don't understand how this works in the real world. We don't understand. Basically, this is a completely different framework for it. It does work, yes, yes, yes. This model, I know it does work, because I'm saying it's a very strong hypothesis, guys. I will not be basically, if I want to read someone online, I can't read them directly. I can if I want to get into the zone, but I have to be unconscious, to be conscious on his head, and then pull that information out. If I die in the consciousness process, I will not wake up, because something I got misaligned with my own consciousness, my own body, my own biological environment. For the multiple principle. Do it yourself. The include. Oh, basically I got a same thing. Okay. 2, 6. This is 3. 3, what's 3? I didn't write down 3, guys. Basically, I'm trying to find the third paper case solid. So basically, fission and fusion are the same thing. They are the same thing, but different ways of doing it. Fission is literally just taking the protons or the protons and literally fusing it, like, bumping into each other for new property, new matter. Richard Feynman's work. I love Richard Feynman. He was he had a model of it. Why we get away with our property. Richard Feynman's model of it was prepared for the Feynman diagrams. They're beautiful. I can't work it out because I never did it in a long time. But I did it once, once or twice. Okay, fission. So that when you fizz something, but one thing is Richard Feynman time was one of complete work on quantum physics is not complete. It's not complete at all. You fizz something, but it's not fusing it. So you have to have 2-1, fission and fusion. The duality. If you fizz something, if you fuse it, you're bringing it together to what? Make energy or make matter or make something happen. And observe what of that something is based on the smallest chemical rotation of the whole system. And by the whole system, I mean the medium. The medium. And what I've basically got a quantum medium only. We're going to see about quantum physics now. If I'm talking about light waves, I'm talking about the quantum field. For what light waves, only light waves can go use. That's where isolation, separation concerns. We can talk about particle physics in the light form. Things that go from RGB, red, green, orange, blue, indigo, violet, all the colors of the rainbow. And all of the colors of light we can see, and we cannot see. That maps out to the electrical magnetic spectrum, etc., etc. Those are the waves, etc. But light wave, I can't see radio waves. I can't really see white waves. I can only see what I observe here. But it's here, it's coherent. I can measure it with my eyes. But my intake of my eyes, measuring with my eyes, is not the radio wave. I'm not measuring. I can't hear static in my head to, because the system is aligned in one way, but it's not aligned. I can't process all the senses, but other creatures can. Crocodiles can. Heat waves with their third eye. Basically, they have like a guy. They have like a one eye that can open up one way. Because they have 2 eyes. They have a pupil. They have like a white eye and a purple, and they have a thread that goes across. And when they when they close the eyes, by law, that's when they see red, and they see your blood and track you down. You're dead to them in an instant. If you're in the way. Basically, you see the isotope layer of scalar, because the isotope layer is more about the mass. If you can separate the mass from the particle itself, from everything else, you're trying to, what is mass? Why does everything have mass? Why am I heavy? I'm not heavy. The universe gave me mass to ground me on the gravity. It's basically gravity on the floor. Basically, I'm seeing gravity glues everything together. If I'm driving a bicycle around the world, the world doesn't curve, I move, but I don't feel anything. The forces feel that, there's no effect. I feel no effect. Why there's no effect? Because, the gravity is stable, because gravity is uniform, distributed, everything. But gravity is just a stable construct for the entire mass of the world, which is round. I think the mass of the world is round, because, the mass, I can ride a bicycle to round the world. If if I don't falling down. Or same thing with the satellites. They are stable in the orbit. The orbit is coherent. And they can you don't have to chuck. You don't have to like power the. You go into the stratosphere. You go with a curve. You don't go up. You go at a curve to minimize energy, and follow the trajectory of the atmosphere. And you fall, but you fall at a zero space. You don't use any energy. You just orbit. It's called an orbit. It's the same thing for Mariner back. It's the same thing for the particles. If you maximize the wave, the formal definition of what is an effect, you get a conjugate effect. You can get opposite back. Which are quantum isotope system, GitHub, the quantum Qs, you can get the isotope model of the same thing, the same effect, the same model, which is called sparse modeling, quantum states, formally. Sparse just means there's many or maybe an infinite set of models that can have that permutation or combination of that set properties. Properties are just like things, effects you want. So if I want to make something glow, I fire a light beam. But if I want to make something glow, I can use fire too. But fire has heat. So if I don't want heat, if I want to make something grow, heat up, I use light, not fire. I struck a match. I combust. I don't want to be signing myself if I want to heat food, because food is useless. You know what I'm saying. So that's what the polarity concept really matters. Is the system basically? Do I have to put any energy into that system to get the result I want? All the diesel cars, everything, anti-hallucination, all the things in the system. I don't want to put any energy there, at all. I just want to get what I want. So let me say quantum physics is, the system is, why I like quantum physics. You don't have to think about it too much now, because I give you guys the blueprint. So I don't want to think about walking to work. How much time have I? I don't want to think about walking to work. I just get I'm at work, because I want a teleporter. I want to enter a teleporter. I'll be at work, because I don't want to walk there. I don't want to do any energy. I just want to get out and do my job and teleport and come back, So I don't want to basically I'll clone all my DNA, I'll replace it on one side, but that's me, because I am just on the other side, but already, because my body is broken into atoms and everything, but it has to be done that, because but I have to just restructure myself or reconfigure myself in the state I was before the time I was there, because time is an issue too, because every system wants to be coherent before the time even starts, basically the seed has to be good for that person to enter and come out, based on the medium. Basically, if I'm in a I'm basically matter. I'm just like a flesh and blood, and bones, I'm mostly 60% water, because I'm a human being. But if I teleport myself ever in my life, God forbid, without thinking about my growth and my hair, and what is hair, what is a hair particle, how does my light, interact with my head, I may get a burn head, because I got misconfigured or mismodeled on the other end. If I have an apple, I chuck it in. But that apple is what? Same thing for everything. The apple. No, okay, basically, the apple has a round perch, round red shape. It has like basically, I'm trying to give you an apple, but the apple has what comes from fruit. So basically, if you're gonna take the apple seed and put it back, I've given you an example. If you're gonna take the apple seed, because you get that fruit seed and put it back in the ground and get an apple again, that is not an apple to me. And I will never eat that. I'm not you. Basically, if I come on the other side and I come and scream, maybe it's a zombie. The zombie from another alternate reality. That's Namdi, and I'm Namdi on the zombie's reality, and I get zombie infection. Guys, that's what I'm saying to you guys. That's what this matters to me. The priority is am I me? Have I been polarized by my X gate, my Y gate, and my Z gate? Here the dimension. The X Y. This is for physical senses. Anti-solution. Am I hallucinating my reality even? And pretending something is there and it's not. Am I really observing information or not? Basically, I'm defining a formal framework for it. So basically, one thing is I'm gonna try to measure. Do I know myself? Me. Do I know me, Obi? Am I me? Just me. In this state, because my conscious will be there, but the journey, I will not feel the journey because there's nothing to feel. There's nothing to observe, unless my consciousness plays a role in that, in that observer. Because my consciousness doesn't need to do anything. I don't have to think anything, but I can think what I want if I'm still in that state of being transferred from computer A to computer B across the world. Basically, if I have myself, go through a journey and I go try to pull myself to another place, I want to be in one piece. It doesn't matter where I go. I want to be in one piece. I don't know about you, but I can be in these three states. One, I know about me, in that state, while the journey, I don't know. I know I'm going. I know I'm going to A, going to B, going to from A here to B, and not back. Just one way journey, one way, not back. And then I go from here, and I get from here to the, what is the real world? Real world is a teleportation device, and I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. A to B, A B, A to B. But I get actually still get a B. I still get a B. I don't know. I'm clueless. Like clueless, clueless. Nil, no type in Rift, no memory, no token type, no value. I'm clueless about my situation, my state of mind. System must preserve me literally, in a metaphysical. Oh, we don't matter to none of this matter to us. He's just a qubit in our world. He's just a small proton in the world. He's just some information we just downloaded and uploaded. We just try DAG as sparse model, because the sparse he can live in this, he can live in the metaphysical and the spiritual plane, because he's an OBINexus Namji. That's what I'm saying to you. Fusion and fission are the same thing, but there's more aligned with operations that are there. So basically, if you fuse something again, one time. If you fuse something, you're what? Bringing it together for a new property, a new quark, a new gluon. You're trying to measure the state of that whatever that done. What is a proton? What is a neutron, electron? Being used to get a positive electron. A positron, which I call it. It's a positron. And you get you try to bang. You smash two electrons in a Higgs to get a Higgs boson. So again, but the Higgs boson is opposite in time level. So you can find Higgs boson in time. It distorts time. The problem is that the Higgs boson is coherent, but it's an isotope. It's a plasma wave, because the Higgs boson is there, but the Higgs boson exists. Yes, guys, remember it exists. Why? Because it's unstable, but it's unstable isotope of some kind of conjugate variant that we can't really address the problem. So if I want to find the Higgs boson again and again, I have to find out why is this not sustainable. Why can't I? Why am I? Why is it? Why? I don't know why I get proton. I get bump a proton and electron. I get close to the Higgs boson. I that's the close. I don't know. But I get it for some time, minimum time, and it appears and disappears. And then when I bump a proton, an electron, and a proton together, I get a Higgs boson again. But when I bump a neutron, an electron, and a proton, and another neutron together in one set, I get the Higgs boson appear for a long time, and I can measure what it does. That's what I'm saying to this. The system is there. The quantum physics nuclear reactor is there. Nuclear reactor, the ones in nature are there as well, because there's next year, just exist because they're trying to build ones. But we are the one we observed in the labs and all are there, but don't doing their job. The large chunk basically, if you smash two items together, you can measure what they get bigger. It's about aligning with your objective. Align with that's why you have quantum field theory anyway. My motto on quantum field theory, every system is opposite, has their own conjugate. What is Caucasian, you have the opposite to Caucasian system. What is a polar system, you have the opposite. Flip. Depending on the polar system, we can model our universe. But our consciousness. But we basically usually try that model, me, myself, and I, because that's more personal to me. That's better. It's more philosophical, aligned with the whole objectives of my life. Me, myself, and I. It does work for me in the real world. No, but I don't care about you guys. But this is my thesis. Basically, I'm going to quantum field theory now, because quantum QFT, nil, nothing. You don't need nothing. Once you reach the problem to nothing, X, Y, Z gating. The Z gating is like a X, Y. Z means unit testing, but X has 3 dimensions. Let me give you an example before I finish this talk. It's a lecture, but it's more of a talk lecture. Which I do myself. So basically, guys, basically, in the riff, we have to do this now. Okay? So you have IJK. I stands for index, like index of full. J stands for J, the next one, and then K. But these are just variables, so it's a variety systems. So we got X, Y, Z testing, and you got K, J, J, K, L. No, J, K, L, M, K, L, M, no, J, K, 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 I, J, K. So you got IJK testing. Yes, K, KNN. KNN customer. Basically, what was a KNN? Yes. So basically, my model of testing all of this is going to have like a permutation and combination as well. So it's more of a stress test for your system. Not even the real world. Your system based on 1 to 5, 1 to 5, and then 1 to 5, 6 to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because that's plus 5, 11, 12 to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 18, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, and then to 30 to 35. Basically, this model is very important for me. 1 to 5, low, medium, high, warning. But that's a low error. Low error exception, dual exception. You can go up and recover and go down and more errors. But basically, you get like a 4. Basically, you can go up and recover your artifacts, and fix the system. But once you guys have 4 instead of this 4, because this is 60 critical systems. Up and recover, up and fail. You can try to go to recover and fail. Can go down, can bubble down. That means you can get more errors and you recover. Just in that state, you stay in the same state, you stay in the same iota state, and you go down, and you fail, you fail. Basically, the system about healing. Basically, if I fail twice, fail once, fail once, I fail once. I stop it. I stop the process. I hold the development so and ship the stable one. Already, and we go back to the stable one. If I show the stable one, so basically up if I bubble the errors up, error exception handling, via observing the state Yamina and going up, I bubble the error up, up the stack, up the functor, and then I don't have to observe any thread, anything, or keep track of any variables, because the error is there in the where it has a state that's nil, or nil variable, no memory, no type, no value, up. Fails. If I try to get from a state, I go to up. I know my version is stable, but the first version is unstable. So I mark it on unstable, or then I continue with this version, or and then I go down. This one is called get ref, but I'll come back to get ref later. I go down and I recover. That means that downstream recover is it works. This state is stable, and if I go down again, I fail. There's 4 ways to do it. This is just QA category test. True positive, false negative, actually negative. Now, very important. IJK. I stands for index notation. K stands for J, but this is like a for loop. So you get like for I equals X. For J equals K. For I to X, okay, but this is observant because it's a categorical systems. So you have to categorize the quantum, the verb noun system. What am I observing? So for example, this is a beginner one anyway. So basically, I can say to you, let me just try to do it properly. Basically, I will say to you, if I have a variable x has a dimensions IJK, but that's x. I can rotate it. Basically, if I put x to I, if I take a function get I, get x. X is just like a function component, functor x. Let's call it functor x. It's heterogeneous. Very important. It is heterogeneous or homogeneous data. Homogeneous just means uniform. It comes in some kind of structure. It's observable. We know what it is. Now we've got the heterogeneous. You mix data, mix type, but it has a structure. It's mixed. Now xi is a functor, but x is a function. Xi equals jk. Jk automatically. So if I swap out, basically it's like a piecewise functor. Piecewise functor. Because I've been piecewise. Okay, piecewise functions are really what is a piecewise function? If you go to piecewise Franken functions, functions, they are functions that are. Is this a piecewise function? that rotate. Basically, they resolve themselves because they can recover themselves because they know their state and they know what to expect in a system of behavior without even being tracked. Because it's all a functor framework, functor frameworks on GitHub.com/OBINEX/a functor framework. So my time is up. No, 30 minutes ago. More time. So if x is a functor and I is the variable, then I can make I should be able to make I the variable, I the function, and get x, and put in x, because this is just functors. I don't really say the functor. It's a functor mapping, or homogeneous functor mapping, model. So if I given x is what a function, but x has an input I. But that input can be x I j k. If it's just a I variable j k, depending on what it is that I j k are just a for loop, the indexing notation I j k. Now x y z, I suppose x y z. So if we to prove this now, x I equals x I is a functor over the set of a uniform distribution 0 0 1 0 1. Basically 0 1 is just the input I expect and I meant to receive, back and forth between I j k. I is a function to x. Let me try and do a model there because my pen is like that. So I just wrote it down randomly. I just showed the spring, but let me try to do it properly. This is why function is very important for me, guys. Because this why let's be 100% isomorphic and no errors must propagate in that infrastructure. Not even one should die because I'm asleep at a machine or something like that. I don't want anybody dying or suing me. Guys, I'm tired of UK system. So if x is a function, a functor. That functor must be take I be a function. I must be also defined as a functor to x and mapped bidirectionally. So how I'll do this is basically the input I'm expecting is 0 1 1 0 1 0 and 1, 0 and or 1. But just to be 0 and or 1 or 1. But why 0 and 1? Because if I take a 0, guys, and I get a 1, get a sequence of zeros and ones, over again, the information makes sense. I can interpret the meaning. It's correct, and the computer can check it. It's valid. If I get a 1 and a 0, if I got a 1 first and I want to allow 1 first, I can get it's just 1 0 1 0 repeating. It's coherent. What is a homogeneous? Homogeneous means similar data. Now, this 0 is going to be used for diagram encoding. So you go 0 0. Sorry. So it's system and space configuration. 0 0, 1 0, 0 1 and 1 1. I can get and I want to get and I get 0. I want to get apple 0. 1 I want to apple 1 and discard a 0. Because if I get 0, that's a nil state. Anyway, that's a nil iota state. Nothing is stored. Nothing is remembered. Now, if I get I 1 0 and I go through the truth table, the C not gate, and then I get the same thing. Use the XOR gate. I get 1 0. If I go through exclusive OR, basically it's a state machine for quantum computers. Really, basically, C not is just the same thing as XOR gate, but for remember the state it's in. The last previous state is stored in, and it can evolve and adapt. So basically, XOR. So I go to exclusive. Is 1 or 0. 1 or 0. What? I get 1. I preserve 1. Now I get the other 0. 0 or 1. I get a what? A 1. Because now I get epsilon. Now I remove the epsilon. Now remove the state, epsilon state, or epsilon node, which is a state of 0, and that is called. And you go to 1 0 1. The same thing for C not gate, but C not gate what's on 4 squared. 4 squared equals 16. 16 what? 16 what? 16 what? 4 squared equals 16. Now, but because there are four combinations, for computation, because this is working. Basically, the QA gates work now on combination and permutation, not sequence and series of instructions. As a policy, guys. So basically, you must combine 0 1, which is two bits of information, 2 4. So basically, the 4 states. So you get 4 states. You got 4 states can be in at a time because it's a quantum system. You can do everything. You can measure all the medium of information you're doing. You can be anywhere. Depending on the medium, how big the medium is, 4 states at a time, and then 4 squared is 16. 4 squared is 16. So you're gonna have 16 total what configurations, total states can be. If I measure the states, I get 4 x equals 4. 4 states. 4 states equals 4 squared equals 14. 16, because 4 times 4 is the same as 4 squared, which is the same thing, with the function in the function in this formation. Now, I'm going to end this video so you guys right, Namdi. Let me try to do it properly, Namdi. No, I'm trying to measure this properly, do some math. So we got this now. So this is very important to me. So 4 squared is 14. Now that means this is 30 states. I'm expecting the states 14 states, 16 states total in the system. Now if I go to the power of 4, that's just a combination of denominator states. Now if you go to permutation, so basically the position is just the opposite, because you have to permute, you have to compute each individual number. That let me try to do this. 2 to the power of 4, and that should give me because it's just the inverse, it's just the inverse. Sorry, no. 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 4 give me something 6 something. 2 to the power of 4 16. Oh no, 4 to the power of 2. No, 4 to the power of 2 is not 16. 4 to the power of 2 is not 16. Oh, listen, 4 to the power of 2. Okay, yes, it's the same thing. 2 to the power of 4. Basically, I'm trying to find it. Basically, for each trace, permutation. I have to compute the permutation of basically trying to define this as a functor framework using a permutation and combination for piecewise modeling. Basically, the piecewise thing. Yes. Let me give you a simple example because I can't do this now. I can't remember how to do it. Also, basically, how do I permute? How do I compute? Okay, when you permute, you choose something. You can choose, make it a choice, but it has to be observed the state because we observe. If you permit, you combine, but there's some which usually separate your concern, but what's it to you, basically? Let me give you a simple example I remember because I'm really feeling this. I want to video wrap up. No, I'm not scared of anything. I should do it properly. Because if I don't do it properly, I will not upload this video today. But have to do it properly. So how do I do this? So basically the functor. Let me give you an example. Functor domain has a domain of 2. Oh, piecewise function, remember this. Oh yes, if a number is even, even what? Even, it's basically even or odd. If a number is even, 2, if a number is even, it must sometimes go on a functor, to get the output. So basically I'm saying to you guys, you can get a prime number, yes, but that prime can be even, cannot be even if it doesn't form into this framework. So if I get an even number, 2 is an even number, 4 is an even number, 6. If I get 2 modulo 2 modulo 2, 2 modulo 2 divided by 2 modulo 1 is 2. But this 1 and 2, this you think about the operator at the modulation system. 2 modulo 1 is 2. Is it even? Yes. Because 2 modulo 4. 2 divided by so basically 2 divided by 1 is 2. Remainder nothing. 0. So if the output is 0, its output is 0. Output is 0, then it's even. But if 2 divided by 1 is even a number, so 2 is an even number. Now, if 2 is divided by if 72 is divided by 6, is 72 divided by 6? Yes. But I'm trying to do also basically I'm trying to divide it 6 times. I've got a calculator here, I'm never using it. Guys, okay. So basically it's really an entanglement. You're trying to measure the state of the system. So you can define a function. Do this. Basically, just try to get a number here. Okay, 18 divided by 3 is what? 18 modulo 3. Let's see. 18 modulo 3. Yes, 18 modulo 3 is an even number. Now, why? Because the computation, the Gaussian common divisor of and the LCM is even. It allows everything to distribute across even states, and you don't have to act on it. You don't have to give it effect. The effect just happens. You don't have to put energy, and if that effect just naturally happens, like I'm speaking right now, and I can hear my voice speak. It's quantum bound. It's safe. It doesn't. It's stable. It's a stable plasma. Because it can exist naturally in that system. But you can come into life with that system or break the system. But the system has to ensure that the system is stable. Now if I do 24 divided by no, it's basically, let me do the same thing. 18 divided by 3. because it's just even. 18 divided by 6. Yeah. Okay, that's not stable. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. Now 18 divided by 3 is 6. Yes. Now if I did 18 divided by 3, 18 divided by 6, it should be 0. 3. Now basically 18 divided by 3, 18 divided by 6 is what? 3. Now if I do 18 modulate 3, because 3 is what? The number that minus 6. If I take away 6 divided by 6, I get 3. But if I divide by the modulo 3, I take away the 6. I start partitioning properly into 3, 3, 3, and then I get 6, 6 nothing, because 6 is 6 times 6, 6 segments of information fit into some kind of category, a sound wave, noise, and I guess I can hear it, I can distinguish with my senses, which are going to keep me coherent to my worldview, ontologically, or something else that's I can't go the crocodile or the animals who see red waves. They have to see in ultraviolet, they have to see part of the red spectrum, which is called red light. Okay, let me go, Namdi. Thank you, Namdi, for watching, guys. I'm gonna share this video. Thank you very much.